Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited troops fighting in Donetsk on Monday. Zelensky presented troops with medals, including the Hero of Ukraine award. The visit took place at a time when Ukraine claims to be regaining more territory on the Eastern Front. Kyiv also claims to be advancing its counteroffensive in the south. Russian President Vladimir Putin has reiterated that he won't renew the Black Sea grain deal until Western nations meet Moscow's demands. The remarks came on Monday after Putin met Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in the Russian city of Sochi. The Black Sea grain deal was brokered by Turkey and the United Nations in July 2022. Its aim was to ensure the safe passage of Ukrainian grain across the Black Sea. Russia refused to extend this deal in July. North Korean leader Kim Jongun will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin this month. The meeting will reportedly take place in the Russian city of Vladivostok. Kim and Putin will discuss the possibility of North Korea supplying weapons to the Kremlin for the war in Ukraine. This comes days after Pyongyang fired 2 space launch vehicles. The operation remained unsuccessful. Former leader of the American right-wing group called Proud Boys will be sentenced for his role in the 2021 U.S. Capitol riot. The riot happened on January 6, 2021, days before U.S. President Joe Biden was supposed to take oath. Prosecutors say that the Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio helped direct the attack from the city of Baltimore. The U.S. Capitol riot was led by supporters of former U.S. President Donald Trump in a bid to overturn the 2020 election result. The First Lady of the United States, Jill Biden, has tested positive for COVID-19. This happened just a few days before U.S. President Joe Biden is scheduled to travel to India's New Delhi to attend the much-awaited G20 summit. Biden has tested negative for COVID-19. The White House has said that the First Lady has been experiencing mild symptoms. Biden will continue to be tested for COVID. The 43rd Asean Summit has begun in Indonesia's capital, Jakarta. Indonesian President Joko Widodo kicked off the summit. ASEAN has banned Myanmar's military leaders from its high-level meetings. ASEAN leaders will also hold an East Asia Summit, which will include China, Japan, India, Russia, and the United States. Myanmar's ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi is reportedly sick and has requested an outside physician. The request has been denied by the country's ruling junta. Suu Kyi is currently being treated by a doctor provided by prison authorities. She's facing 27 years of detention in 19 criminal offences. These offences include election fraud and corruption. Teachers in South Korea's Seoul held a rally to demand better protection of their rights. In July this year, a teacher was found dead at a school after reportedly expressing anxiety over complaints by parents regarding a dispute among students. About 50,000 teachers took to the streets against widespread harassment by overbearing parents. Protesting teachers say nothing has changed in the education field. A Central African regional bloc has suspended Gabon's membership in the aftermath of the coup. The suspension will remain in effect until Gabon returns to constitutional order. On August 30th, Gabon's president, Ali Bongo, was ousted after he won an election. He's currently under house arrest. This is the 8th coup in 3 years in West and Central Africa. Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa was sworn in on Monday for a second term. Several African leaders, including South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and Mozambique leader Filipe Nyusi, attended the swearing-in ceremony. Mnangagwa won Zimbabwe's election last month. The main opposition party has described the election result as a gigantic fraud. Vanuatu's new Prime Minister, Sato Kilman, has said that he will revisit a security pact signed with Australia. This statement comes a day after Kilman came to power. Vanuatu's former leader, Ismail Kalsakau, recently lost a no-confidence motion in Parliament. He was defeated by Kilman in a secret ballot on Monday. The pact with Australia became one of the reasons behind Kalsakau's ouster. Opposition lawmakers say the security pact compromised Vanuatu's neutral status. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz will have to wear an eye patch for the next few weeks. This is because Scholz was injured after he fell while running on Saturday. Scholz took to social media platform X and posted a picture of himself wearing the eye patch. He said, and I quote, "Excited to see the memes." In climate news, Africa's first climate summit kicked off in Kenya's Nairobi on Monday. Kenyan President William Ruto opened the event. He urged that the climate crisis be seen as an opportunity to pour in billions of dollars in investment. African leaders are pushing for financing instruments such as carbon credits. However, several speakers said they've seen little progress towards accelerating climate financing. Africa is heating at a faster rate than the rest of the planet. It has also endured more severe climate and weather disasters. This is according to a joint United Nations African Union report. The report has warned that climate change could stoke a conflict over resources in the continent. The world is losing the race to meet its climate change goals. This is according to the UAE's Sultan Al Jaber. He said this during the ongoing Africa Climate Summit being held in Kenya. Jaber is a cabinet minister from the UAE who will preside over the upcoming COP28 climate summit later this year. Jaber also announced that the UAE was pledging $4.5 billion. This is for the development of 15 gigawatts of clean power in Africa by 2030. Taiwan began cleanup operations on Monday. This was after Typhoon Haikoi left a trail of destruction across the island. Residents and workers removed fallen trees, fixed broken power lines and cleared debris. Fire officials have reported more than 100 injuries due to the typhoon. Spanish police officers were searching for missing people. This was after record rainfall caused heavy flooding in central Spain. Authorities said 3 people were reported missing. In Madrid, several roads were closed as half a dozen bridges were torn down by water overflowing from riverbanks. Meanwhile, in Spain's Toledo city, cars were seen riding through heavily flooded roads. Torrents of water poured down the steps in the city. However, Spain's National Weather Agency has now lowered the alert level to yellow from orange and red. Britain is bracing for a week of heat wave. Temperatures are expected to exceed 30 degrees Celsius in some places. UK residents say they are concerned about the implications of climate change in the coming decades. Pope Francis spoke about young people's fears for the planet. He also spoke about his landmark 2015 letter. He had written about the protection of the environment and the dangers of climate change. In the 8 years since the Pope's letter was published, the world has seen an increase in extreme weather events. On to business and tech news. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with Jensen Huang. Huang is the CEO of software firm Nvidia. They discussed India's potential in the field of artificial intelligence. The Indian Prime Minister said this in a post on social media platform X. Australia's corporate regulator has sued Westpac Banking Co. Westpac is among Australia's big 4 banking firms. The bank allegedly failed to respond to customers' notices of financial hardship within the required time frame. In Australia, individuals with overdue payments can request a change in their contract on the grounds of financial hardship. Meanwhile, creditors like Westpac are required to respond within 21 days of being informed. Australia's Qantas Airways has issued an apology. This is after the country's competition regulators sued it for allegedly selling tickets for thousands of cancelled flights. The airline said this in a statement that it was reviewing the allegations. In 2021, Qantas received a heap of complaints about flight cancellations and lost luggage. This was after Australia opened its borders following the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, Alan Joyce, the long-standing CEO of the airline, has retired. Joyce has been heading Qantas for 15 years. He was scheduled to retire in November. However, Joyce has decided to retire 2 months earlier amid the ongoing lawsuit. Protesters gathered outside automaker Cruise's headquarters in San Francisco. This was after reports surfaced that a patient had died after its robo-taxis allegedly blocked an ambulance. The incident took place on August 14th. It was reported by the San Francisco Fire Department. The department said the ambulance had trouble getting to the hospital because two Cruise robo-taxis blocked the road. The patient on board later passed away. Chinese electric vehicle maker XPeng is planning to expand into more European markets. It will expand its services to countries like Germany, Britain and France from next year. Chinese electric vehicles are aiming for higher margins and faster growth by expanding services in overseas markets. This comes as they struggle with a price war in their home country. India's Hero MotoCorp is planning to invest around $67 million in Ather Energy. Ather is an India-based electric vehicle startup. Hero already owns a 33.1% stake in the EV company. Ather was on track to hit $1 billion in revenue by December. However, it hit a roadblock earlier this year. This was after the Indian government cut the subsidy it offers for electric two-wheelers in the country. Elon Musk has said that the social media platform X will file a defamation lawsuit against the Anti-Defamation League. The Anti-Defamation League is an organization that works to combat anti-Semitism and extremism. Musk has accused the ADL of falsely accusing him and X, formerly known as Twitter, of being anti-Semitic. Musk also blamed the organization for X's falling advertising revenue in the US. Chinese mobile app stores have begun barring publishers from launching new apps. This is if they do not make all the required disclosures. It includes app stores run by companies like Tencent and Xiaomi. The app stores are taking these steps to align themselves with Beijing's new oversight rules. China has asked all mobile app providers in the country to file business details with the government. A Russian court has fined Tinder's parent company Match Group and the streaming service Twitch. Match Group has been charged in nearly $104,000, whereas Twitch is supposed to pay a fine of $135,000. Russia has blamed both companies for repeatedly failing to localize their data, which is a violation of Russian laws. Moving to sports, the Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI, has announced India's World Cup squad. Rohit Sharma has retained the captaincy and he will lead India in the tournament. Meanwhile, Hardik Pandya has been chosen as the vice-captain. Sanju Samson, Tilak Verma and Prasidh Krishna have been excluded from the team. The ICC Men's Cricket World Cup begins on October 5th. India beat Nepal by 10 wickets at the Asia Cup on Monday. The men in blue have now secured a spot in the Super 4 stage of the tournament. India had to chase a revised target of 145 runs in 23 overs under the Duckworth-Lewis method. This was after rain interrupted the match in Kandy in Sri Lanka. Both Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill effortlessly sealed the victory for India. Sharma was not out on 74, while Gill posed an unbeaten 67. Kane Williamson will captain New Zealand for the upcoming ICC Men's Cricket World Cup. The country's cricket board said on Monday that he has shown progress in his recovery from an injury. Williamson had to undergo surgery after a knee injury in April. The 33-year-old was given 2 weeks to prove his fitness ahead of the World Cup. The rest of the New Zealand squad members will be announced on September 11th. Brazilian forward Antony has been dropped from the squad for the 2026 Football World Cup qualifiers. He's accused of abusing his former girlfriend. The Brazilian Football Federation said the matter needs to be investigated. The allegations were published by a Brazilian local media outlet on Monday. Antony has denied any wrongdoing. Sergio Ramos has returned to Sevilla after 18 years. The former Spain defender had left the club when he was 19 to join Real Madrid. Ramos had joined Paris Saint-Germain in 2021, but his contract expired in July. Now he has reportedly signed a one-year deal with Sevilla. The 37-year-old is believed to have rejected a bid from Saudi club Al Ittihad. Speaking of the Saudi giants, Al Ittihad are planning another offer for Liverpool winger Mohamed Salah. Liverpool's stance on the 31-year-old remains firm. They have said Salah is not up for sale. Liverpool have already turned down an initial proposal worth around $189 million. The Saudi transfer window closes on September 7th. In tennis, new world number one, Aryna Sabalenka, reached the US Open quarterfinal. The Belarusian dominated Daria Kasatkina of Russia 6-1, 6-3 in straight sets. Sabalenka will play China's Zheng Qinwen tomorrow to secure a spot at the semi-final. Sabalenka will rise to the number one rankings after the tournament, though. Meanwhile, Daniil Medvedev also progressed to the quarterfinal at the US Open. The third seed tamed Australian Alex de Minaur in a four-set showdown. Medvedev lost the first match 2-6, but he rallied back 6-4, 6-1, 6-2 to book his spot in the next round. Carlos Alcaraz also won his round 16 match at the US Open. Italy's Matteo Arnoldi lost to the 20-year-old Spaniard. Alcaraz eased past his opponent to secure a 6-3, 6-3, 6-4 win. He is the defending champion of the US Open. Top seed Iga Swiatek was knocked out of the US Open. She was stunned by Jelena Ostapenko of Latvia in the round of 16. Ostapenko lost the first set 3-6 and then stormed back 6-3, 6-1 in the next two. With this defeat, Swiatek has also lost her world number one ranking. In the world of entertainment, director Woody Allen presented his 50th film titled Coup de Chance at the Venice Film Festival yesterday. However, a group of protesters interrupted the premiere as they hurled abuses at the director. The demonstrations come just one day after Woody Allen commented on his dislike for cancel culture. The director says that cancel culture is making him want to quit making movies. The trailer of the action film Godzilla Minus One released today. It received millions of views within the first few hours. Fans of the iconic movie series are waiting for the dinosaur-like monster's return to the big screen. Godzilla Minus One will release worldwide on the 1st of November. The movie I Am Legend Part 2 has been confirmed by Warner Bros. Studios. Actors Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan will star in the post-apocalyptic horror film. It'll be a sequel to Will Smith's I Am Legend, which was released in 2007. The first movie was about Will Smith's character Robert Neville, who is a virologist searching to find a cure for a disease which turned humans into zombies. Actor Jenna Ortega dismissed dating rumors with popular star Johnny Depp. The 20-year-old star of the comedy series Wednesday took to Instagram to address the discussion about her dating life. Ortega says, and I quote, "This is ridiculous. Please stop spreading lies and leave us alone." Meanwhile, Johnny Depp's manager said that the 60-year-old actor had never even met Jenna Ortega. Actor Ashley Tisdale is being sued over a car crash. In September last year, Ashley Tisdale crashed into another vehicle while changing lanes. The plaintiff says she suffered injuries due to the collision. She's taking the actor to court and demanding compensation worth $140,000 in medical expenses. The official date for the hearing is yet to be announced. Ashley Tisdale is best known for her performances in the High School Musical movie franchise and the TV series The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Thousands of vehicles were seen leaving the Burning Man 2023 music festival venue today. This was after the organizers opened the road leading out of the remote desert festival in the US state of Nevada. Celebrities like comedian Chris Rock and musician Diplo were also seen exiting the venue. Earlier, officials had ordered the over 70,000 Burning Man attendees to stay put at the venue after heavy rainfall swept through Nevada on Sunday. Iconic rock band The Rolling Stones will launch a new studio album tomorrow. This will be their first project release after a gap of 18 years. The new album is titled Hackney Diamonds. It also features a song with iconic singer-songwriter Sir Paul McCartney of the Beatles. The new album will be live-streamed worldwide on the YouTube channel of The Rolling Stones. The group is best known for their songs Painted Black, Wild Horses and Angie. Legendary rock band Aerosmith kicked off their final tour in the American city of Philadelphia yesterday. The farewell tour is called Peace Out and will have 39 shows in the US and Canada. The tour is slated to end in January next year, when Aerosmith will declare retirement. The group is known for their hit songs Dream On, Sweet Emotion and Livin' on the Edge. Metal band Metallica have rescheduled their concert in the American city of Phoenix. This is after their lead vocalist James Hetfield tested positive for COVID-19. The concert scheduled for today has now been moved to the 9th of September. Steve Howell, the lead singer of rock band Smash Mouth, died at the age of 56 yesterday. His manager said that the singer died at home surrounded by friends and family. However, the statement did not mention the reason for the death. Smash Mouth is best known for its singles All Stars and I'm a Believer.